Alright, hey guys, it's Jonathan Stringer, joining you guys once again for my nightly video. What does this make? I think this is day 4 of my 7-day series that I'm doing. I'm super stoked about tonight, actually. I'm stoked. I don't know, I made notes this morning, I decided what I was talking on, and the whole day I've been pretty excited to hop on and be able to talk about what it is I'm talking about tonight. As you can see, I got a pretty, I don't want to say it's controversial topic, but controversial is definitely not the right word. But it goes against the grain. Everybody always says Rome wasn't built in a day. I mean, it's like everybody's justification for things taking a while. And I totally understand why people use it, but I want to offer a different perspective. I want to offer a different way to look at it, a different point of view. And before I hop into that, though, guys, I actually want to talk about something. I just got this book in the mail. Really, I checked the mail on Sunday, so it probably came in like Friday or Saturday. Just got the book, though. I've read it just barely, like 15 with the foreword and everything, like 20 pages into it, 25 pages into it, and I've got to say it's something else. If you guys are looking for a book to read, if you're looking for motivation, if you're looking for something to help build your desire to chase your goals, whatever it is that your goal is, this book, it's in it for you. I mean, Brendon Burchard, he took things to a whole nother level with this book. I've read motivational books before, but this is something else. The Motivation Manifesto, 9 declarations to claim your personal power. It, hands down, just starting it out, got to be one of my favorite books that I've read so far. And I don't say that often about a book. Okay, guys, that's my one thing. I was so excited. I was reading it today at work, at lunch. I mean, I was excited about the book. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. Now going back to the whole Rome thing, though. Okay, guys, everybody always says Rome wasn't built in a day. And they're always talking about how, they need to take a little longer to hit their goals. How many of you have been chasing the same goals that you set a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago? I don't know what point in your life you're at, but how many of you are still chasing the same goals, saying, I'm going to get there eventually. Eventually, I'm going to get there. And you just can't figure out what's stopping you, what's taking you, or what's keeping you from going to that next step. What's keeping you from moving forward? And I want to dive into this. It's something that it's a different point of view, and I like it. I really like it. So everybody talks about, Rome's not built in a day. I think it is. I think Rome was built in a day. Not in the traditional sense, like the entire empire was there from day one. What happened was Rome, day by day, took consistent actions to get to where they were. In order to build an empire, whatever it is, okay, to use Rome right now, to get there, Rome wasn't like one day, oh, we're going to be great, we're going to, govern our people fairly, we're going to do all these great things, we're going to advance our military, we're going to start going out and exploring, and the next day they're like, okay, hold up, we're not doing that anymore, just kidding, and pull everybody back and start governing people back. It wasn't a wishy-washy thing. They didn't go a month of doing all those great things, and the next month they're like, you know what, that was a hard month, we're gonna take a break. It's tough being Rome for a month, trying to expand, so that our empire is so big the sun never sets. That's a lot of work. I think we're gonna take a break, maybe take a 2 or 3 month break. We're gonna go on vacation. The emperor's out there, he's getting fanned, he's eating grapes. I don't know. That's not what happened, though. It was day in and day out, consistent action by the Roman people. Okay, regardless of what it wasn't ever inconsistent. And that's what holds a lot of people back from their goals. If you've been working on the same goals for months and years at a time, chances are one of two things. Either A, you set a goal that was too big to be completed within the time period that you wanted it to be completed. Okay, that is a possibility. I've done that before. I've said, oh, I want to be at such and such income level within a certain amount of time. Realistically, that it would have taken more skill and more action than what I could physically and mentally commit. Okay, so that is a possibility. But barring that, it's consistency. If you have not hit the goals that you want to hit, you're lacking consistency. Okay, I just read a blog post by a phenomenal leader, a guy, I'm going to mess up his last name, but Bob Heilig. He's got a great blog, and he talks about business principles. And one of the things he talks about, he uses the popcorn analogy. And I had never heard it before until I read his blog just today. And this was after I had written down all my notes and everything. And reading his blog, though, he talks about a bag of popcorn. You guys pull a bag of popcorn out of your cupboards and you walk over to the microwave, you open up the bag, you stick it in the microwave, and you push generally, and if you push the popcorn button, it's going right about roughly 3 minutes. Okay, you set it in there. If you've watched it, I don't know if any of you guys have been bored, whatever. Just you watch that popcorn pop, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. For the first minute, do you see any action at all? There's none. There, literally, the bag doesn't look any different from second 1 all the way up to second 60. There is no change in it. Okay? If you keep watching for another 60 seconds, you'll see a couple of pops. Not a lot. There's a few. Okay, it starts to have a little bit of action, but it's not until the very last minute when all of that action takes place. That popcorn bag goes crazy, and that's when all of your popcorn is popped. Okay, but you don't sit there and look at the microwave and be like, oh, you know what? A minute's gone by, no kernels are popped. I'm pulling that popcorn bag out. That was a bad bag. It's not happening. I can't pop popcorn. You don't say that because you know that it takes time. It takes more effort. It takes more consistency of that popcorn being exposed to the heat inside the microwave to pop your bag of popcorn. Whatever your goal is, maybe if you're in real estate and you're wanting to sell, maybe you just got into real estate, or maybe you've been in for a while, you want to increase how many properties you're selling each and every month or each and every year. Okay, maybe you're in sales and you want to hit a certain quota. Maybe you have your own quota, that the company levels are too low, and you're like, you know what, I'm on my own level, I'm setting my own quota. Hey, whatever it is, you've got to consistently try. Because what happens so often is that people set goals. They say, I want to be the number one salesman in my company. And they go out and they start selling. Maybe they're knocking doors, they're picking up the phone, making calls, they're doing all the right actions, everything they should be doing. Only they do it for a short amount of time, as long as they think they need it to be doing to see some type of result, and they don't see any results, and they say, this isn't going anywhere, I think I'm done. Obviously I'm doing something wrong. And they're not doing anything wrong. They honestly were doing the best thing they could have. It just so happens that over time, in order to hit goals, in order to have success, you have to be consistent. Okay, there's something about consistency that success loves. Success, if you had to pair it with anything, okay, I'd say success loves two different things. One is a vision, knowing what it is that you're going after, and two is consistency. Okay, those two things, and success is going to be your best friend. Okay, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Everybody knows who Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is. He's got a great quote. He says, "Success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work gains success. Greatness will come. Success isn't overnight. It's when every day you get up a little better than the day before. It all adds up. And that's the truth with any goal that you're going after. I firmly believe that. No matter what goal you're going after, maybe to use this analogy, maybe you want to be great in your marriage. You want to be a better spouse, better husband, or a wife. It's not going to happen overnight. Maybe if you and your wife have been fighting and bickering, okay, and you want to wake up the next morning and say, okay, everything's going to be better, clean slate. It doesn't work like that. Okay, you have to take your time and take the steps necessary and be consistent. I guess another analogy, and this one kind of goes off the rails of success, so to speak, and more into relationship building. If you had a friend, okay, that you met, maybe they were in high school, and you knew them to be the storyteller. They're the pathological liar. They really just, you'd hang out with them for the evening. You guys would maybe go down to 7-Eleven to get a slushie or something. And then the next day they're in school talking about how you guys went on this crazy adventure and you got pinned down in the alleyway with mobsters, and this elaborate story, and that's how you know them. All of a sudden you see them 10 years from now, they walk up and they say, hey, I promise you I'm a 100% truthful now. You don't say, oh yeah, totally, I'd believe anything you tell me right now. You want to see it. You want to see them consistently be truthful with you. And that's on the lines of a relationship, but it's the same with success. You don't walk into somewhere and be like, oh, I'm going to be the best salesman, and you start selling for a week and expect everything to fall into place. It doesn't work like that. You have to constantly be bettering yourself. One of the things that goes with consistency is the fact that you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have successes and you're going to have failures along the way. When you're consistent, you learn from those failures. It's not a roadblock. It's not oh my gosh, I wanted to be the best real estate agent in the whole state, and I couldn't sell this property for like 2 weeks. I'm terrible. I'm the worst. I'm never going to be great. And all of a sudden you quit selling. You're never going to be successful. You're never going to see it because you're not being consistent with it. It takes time. You have to learn. You have to say, okay, well, what did I do wrong? I had 3 buyers lined up for this property. What did I do wrong? What could I have fixed? Did I need to speed up the process? Did I need to talk and be more engaged with my buyers? Did I need to have more contact, with the seller? Maybe whatever it is. Maybe you printed up the paperwork wrong. Maybe you had a lot of typos. I actually have a friend. He works with me. He was going through trying to buy his house, and he had such a bad image, not of the real estate agent, but of the titling company, because they had typo after typo, and he called them to correct it. He'd get the revision, and it was still wrong. Okay, so there's small tweaks like that every day in our successes and failures that we can recognize, and that we can fix, and that we can use to propel us forward towards our success, towards our goal. But the only way we're going to notice that is if we're being consistent. As soon as we take our foot off the gas, we stop noticing those things. We stop noticing, the little spots that we can get better. Because at that point, our eye is no longer on the goal. It's just not there. Now, something to help us be consistent, because it's all great to hear somebody say, hey, be consistent, be consistent. And a lot of times we tell ourselves, oh, I'm going to be consistent. This is a new year. Okay, with us just having the new year, actually, let's think about this. How many of us set weight loss goals? How many of us set, I'm going to eat healthy goals? How many of us set, I'm going to drink less soda, or fill in the blank, whatever your goal was? Okay, maybe it was a success goal, whatever it was, okay? Now, how many of us followed through with that all the way? Okay, we're way past the point when most people fall off the bandwagon for their New Year's resolutions. So how many of you guys are still sticking with those? And it's not to make you feel bad about it, but we set goals to be more consistent. We set goals to achieve things all the time. But then there's something missing in between. Okay, and this is one of those things that can help us. And that's having a daily plan. Okay, maybe if you're setting goals, if you're in sales, if you're in whatever it is, okay, I'm going to use sales because that's so easy. It applies to so many people. If you're in sales and say your quota for the year, you want to sell $100,000 in product. Okay, I'm gonna say 120 to make it nice round numbers. $120,000 a year is your goal in product. Okay, that means each month you have to sell $10,000 in product. Okay, now you need to break that down even further and decide what would it take to sell $10,000 in product every month. What weekly actions and what daily actions do you need to be taking? Because it's so easy to say, oh, I've got a whole month to sell $10,000 in product. I'm going to take it easy this first month, maybe the second month, not first week, maybe the second week, but the third and fourth week of the month, man, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to get my $10,000 in product sold. I'll be on the phones. I'll be knocking doors. I'll go, to all the businesses. I don't care what I got to do. I'll be there. And why would you do that when you can just be consistent? Set up, say, okay, every week, and don't set, I'm going to get a little technical on you guys, don't set results-oriented goals, okay? Now, you want to have results that you're trying to achieve, okay, that's over here, but for your everyday and perhaps even for your weekly goals, don't set results-oriented goals. Set action goals. If your goal is to sell 10,000 in product for that month, how many people or what quantity of product do you need to sell to hit that? Let's say each item is worth $1,000, so you need to sell 10 of them. Okay? Now you need to ask yourself, well, how many people do I need to talk to personally before I can sell one? Okay, make it simple for yourself. Don't go for the whole 10 at first, because then you're going to look at that number and you're going to be discouraged. You're going to say, oh my gosh, I've got to talk to that many people. That'll never happen. Okay, it happens to the most positive of people. If you set things that are too big, it can discourage you to the most positive of people. Okay? So find out how many people you need to talk to sell one. Maybe you're a superstar salesman and you only have to talk to 10 people to sell $1,000 worth of product. Okay? So you go out and you say, okay, I need to talk to 10. Now you set how many people you can talk to every day. Okay, now at this point, that's when you start looking at the monthly goal. Okay, to hit 10, that means I need to talk to 100. But now break it up again and say, okay, to hit 100 within the month, there's roughly, give or take, 20 to 24, I forget the number, between 20 and 25 days in the month that you can sell. Okay, if you're working Monday through Friday, maybe the occasional Saturday, then you're getting closer to that 25. Okay, so you need to break down your goal and say, okay, what do my daily actions need to look like so that I can hit that 100, that number, that 100 people that I need to talk to in the month. How many do I need to talk to each and every day so that I can make sure I'm on track to sell the correct amount of product? Okay, because if you try to condense that down into 2 weeks, all of a sudden it becomes overwhelming and you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. This was too big of a goal. and you start to let yourself down. You say, well, maybe I shouldn't do 120,000 for the year. Maybe I should cut that in half because I can't even hit 10,000 in a month. So how am I going to hit 120 in a year? And it's going to have an effect. Back to the Roman Empire. Could you imagine? Okay, now this shifts back to it wasn't done in one day per se. Okay, back to that. If they would have tried to conquer the world in one day, what are the chances that it would have happened? Probably pretty slim. I'm willing to bet it wouldn't have happened at all. Now, as long as they take those consistent actions, as long as they do it day by day, then they've got it. And it's the same with any goal that you have. Consistency is going to get you there. Consistency is going to help you learn. Consistency is going to help you improve and move past your competition. Because I can guarantee you, if you are consistent with your actions, you got to work hard, okay? Don't get me wrong. But you take two people that are working hard, guarantee you one of them's going to quit eventually. Don't let that one be you. Because then that means that you gave up on your dreams. You've got to be consistent. Grab a planner. Okay. Number one tip for making your daily actions possible, for making yourself consistent, grab a planner. I don't care if you just grab a spiral notebook. I don't care if you grab a binder, whatever you have to use. You need to organize it. You need to keep track of what you're doing day in and day out. Find out, again, what your daily actions need to be and track it every single day. Because if you're not tracking it, it's not going to get done. If you don't have it written down in your planner to say, okay, I'm going to go talk to 10 people today, it's not going to get done. Things will come up. Okay? Things work against you for your success. Not everything. Okay? And you'll find that success flows when you finally make that decision to stay consistent. But at first, you're going to have the trials. It's going to happen. It's essentially, it's kind of like the universe saying, okay, are you really wanting the success? Do you really want it? I know you said you do, but do you really want it? Okay, and that's why you're going to have the hard times. That's why the first week, you might not make any sales. The second week, you might not make any sales. But if you're consistently going through and talking to those people every single day, then all of a sudden, week 3, okay, back to the popcorn analogy, week 3 and 4, all of a sudden you just got, 2 sales, another 2 sales, oh my gosh, I'm selling a ton right now. This is crazy. I'm selling more than my goal was. It's because you're being consistent. Okay, you pushed past the hard times because you wrote it down in your planner. You pushed past the hard times and you stayed consistent. Okay? Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. You've got to make success your habit. You've got to make success something that you do day in and day out. It's not a result. It doesn't mean you make a sale every day. It doesn't mean you do something drastic to change the world every day. It means that every day you stay consistent with your actions. Okay? Because as you stay consistent, excellence will become a habit. You won't have to worry. It won't be a guess. Can I hit my goal? Can I hit my quota? It'll be, I'm going to hit that. How much more can I raise my daily activities? Because that's how much more I'm going to exceed my goal. Success will be calculated for you. You won't be worried anymore. You'll know. You'll say, this is what's going to happen because I'm doing the actions, because I'm staying consistent, because I'm making the moves towards success, and I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. Guys, if you can stay consistent, any dream that you have will come true. Okay? Jim Rohn said it best. He said, do it until. Consistency is doing it until. it'll happen. You will get success. You can have anything in this life that you want, as long as you're willing to put the work in consistently. Nothing is out of your reach. Everybody has the seeds of greatness within them. Everybody has potential. Everybody has something that they're meant to do, something that pulls them, something that drives them. Just figure out what it is. Figure out what activities you need to be doing consistently so that you can build your Roman Empire. Alright guys, have a great night. I'll be back here tomorrow to talk to you guys once again. I am loving this video challenge so far, so I keep looking forward to every day that I get to hop back on here and spend some time with you guys. Good night, guys.